Alright, so let's be real for a second. When's the last time we were approaching the NBA draft and there wasn't a consensus number one pick? You know, that one number one guy that's just head and shoulders above the rest. Because without even doing too much research, y'all, I'm sure we all know it's been a while, and to me that's the first red flag when it comes to the upcoming 2024 NBA draft class. Y'all see the title. I'm just not really a believer in this upcoming draft class. And that's not to say that nobody from this class will end up with a great career. Come on now. Even a blind man could see that an offensive talent like Rob Dillingham has some kind of bright future, for sure. However, generally speaking, in comparison to recent history, man, this draft class, bro, it's lacking. I mean, last year, I know we were blessed with the hype of Victor Wembanyama, but beyond him, there were other impressive talents that are hooping today. Then in 2022, we had Paolo, Chet, Jabari Smith. Year before that, Jalen Green, Cade, Evan Mobley. Year before that, LaMelo, Anthony Edwards. I mean, are we spoiled? Because, man, the upcoming draft just does not move me. You see, there's a really valuable webpage I use to monitor draft picks. It's ESPN's best remaining players list, where ESPN's experts and scouts pretty much list the rankings of prospects throughout the season. And at the time of this video, a guy by the name of Zaccharie, a forward who plays overseas, is the projected number one pick. Now, I kid y'all not, last week it was Sara, a 7'1" center who plays in the NBL. Now, back in the fall, it was USC's Isaiah Collier for a good while. And after facing a minor hand injury, ESPN's experts now have him listed outside the top 10. I mean, I don't know if y'all see what I'm getting at, but at this point, it's just like, who is it? Because the number one pick and its projections are fluctuating way too much for what that number one overall is really supposed to mean. And in this video today, we're gonna discuss all of this. So yeah, go ahead and let me know in the comments, where do you stand in this convo? Is the 2024 draft class being slept on, or are they really just average for the most part? And yeah, man, really quick before I go any further, what's up YouTube? Plug Speaks, back with another video. If you're new, first of all, welcome. Go ahead and sub. Also like the video if you enjoy. I upload quality basketball content and we're on the grind for 5K. I really appreciate everyone who subs and likes the videos. But back to the video. Now, to be completely honest, a major reason this class is so underwhelming to me is the fact that some of the top 10 talents really just aren't that impressive. And one of the top 10 potential picks that I'm personally most questionable about is Baylor's Ja'Kobe Walter. You see, he's a 6'5" freshman who plays shooting guard and maintains most of his value in his shot creation abilities and his potential to be an elite two-way player, seeing as he plays defense fairly well. The issue here is that scouts have described him as someone with impressive shot making and high reliability. And while I understand that numbers, they don't tell the full story, I don't see how someone shooting 37% from the field and 34% from three is so reliable as a shot maker. Now, he could definitely improve on these abilities, so I don't mean to just, write him off, but I'm just saying, the fact that he's easily a top 10 choice this year, man, that tells me all I need to know. Just last year, Baylor brought another exciting guard to the NBA in Keyonte George, and Keyonte actually put up very similar numbers to Ja'Kobe. He just put up a little bit more points. But he was taken as the 16th overall pick, and now he's doing his thing, hooping for the Utah Jazz. But I cannot ignore this perspective. Keyonte, he barely didn't even make the lottery. Ja'Kobe, with arguably worse production, he's easy top 10. Come on now. But moving on, let me get into one of the bigger question marks in this draft. You feel me? Let's get into the root of the number one pick situation and question, which is, how in the world is there no consensus number one pick? You feel me? I could understand if the convo was between 2 or 3 players like it was in 2021 between Cade, Jalen, and Evan Mobley. And even that year was a stretch, but I could see it. But this year, I've seen at least 5 to 10 names rotating in this position. No BS. Like, I can't make this up. So let's talk about some of the main guys in that number one race. Starting with Zaccharie Risacher. I think that's how you say his name. I tried to do my research. But anyway, he's an 18-year-old 6'10" forward who plays in France. And he basically embodies exactly what we think of when we hear the term modern day big. And he possesses many of the skills we see in unicorns like Chet or Porzingis today. Like, I mean, literally, it couldn't be more clear what we're dealing with when it comes to a prospect like Zaccharie. The FIBA basketball channel has a highlight video up on YouTube right now, teasing at him being the next Wemby, the next Wembenyama. Like, come on now. A guy whose rookie year is still in progression. And without me getting too off track, that brings up a whole nother potential issue, because it's going to be annoying seeing NBA teams forcibly try to seek out the next Wembenyama overseas, because it really doesn't even make sense. What makes Wemby so special is the fact that he is indeed one of one, you know, a 7'5" center with similar capabilities to Kevin Durant. That's crazy, but you know, you're not gonna find that the very next year, or maybe for the next 5 or 10 years. That's the point of him being so unique. So yeah, but back to Zaccharie. Like I said, he pretty much has that unicorn skill set, and he's played pretty well this year, averaging 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist on efficient shooting in the current season. But if we're looking at this, especially the rebounds, and believe it screams #1 overall pick, we're all lost. I'm sorry, but we're all lost. But moving on to someone else in the combo, we got Sara. And he's also another unicorn, you know, 7'1" beast who plays for the Perth Wildcats, an Australian team in the NBL. And he's been described as someone who possesses a skill set similar to that of Evan Mobley and Chet Holmgren. Y'all see the trend here. But anyway, in the 27 games he's played this season, he's put up an average of 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 block on 51% shooting from the field and 28% shooting from 3. Now I ask again, does this scream #1 overall pick? And I know numbers, they don't tell the full story, and I understand the NBA draft is heavily based on potential. Man, players like Giannis was not the Greek freak we know today back when he was first picked up by the Bucks, I think 15th overall. But I'm just saying, that was 15th overall. We wasn't talking about #1 pick potential, and I just expect more than what I'm seeing. Please let me know y'all thoughts down below. But anyway, moving on to another sleeper contender for the first pick, it got Rob Dillingham. Now, I'm not sure if I even need to say much when it comes to this man. And not even because he's just that insanely good, but more so because I don't think any other freshman has had more buzz around their name for the right reasons other than this guy. I mean, coming off the bench for Kentucky, he showed us so many pro level skills, especially in terms of shot making. 44% shooting from deep with shots off the dribble. Yes, that's what we need to hear if we're talking about a potential #1 prospect. And although his year did have a disappointing end in March Madness, for majority of the season he was hooping and really boosted his draft interest from barely being lottery to this #1 pick conversation. But yeah, y'all, I'm fixing to wrap this video up. I'll probably do an even more in-depth video on this as we get closer to the draft, and depending on how this is received for the most part. But anyway, I gotta hang it up on my main point, which is the fact that, you know, many guys in the former draft classes would be higher if they waited just a year. Like, take someone like Villanova's Cam Whitmore, who now plays for the Rockets. The way bro was looking, he would have been top 10 for sure. And yeah, I mean, overall, it just doesn't seem like there's many all-star level talents, which I guess isn't even really a terrible thing. You know, the NBA, I swear, the NBA needs more straight up role players. There's too many guys trying to average 20 a game nowadays. It's making the NBA look watered down, and role players, they be getting paid. Look at, you know, Danny Green or what was it, Nicholas Batum a couple years back. So nah, but I appreciate y'all watching as always. Like this up, man, share it, sub if new, all of that. I'll see y'all in the next one, and I'm out.